The Ministry of Health has stepped up its disease surveillance to control the outbreak of meningitis in parts of the country. The Sector Minister, Alex Segbefia, who made this known, said challenges in contact tracing by health officers was a major contributing factor to the spread of the disease.
The ministry indicated vaccination was not part of their current strategy to deal with the situation. It was rather embarking on a study to deal with the outbreak.
When you decide to embark upon a sector or zonal vaccination program, then you have to look at the numbers and then do a proper procurement for that process. And if it's nationwide, it gets even bigger. But we will look at that when we've got this completely under control. Okay. You notice that they are even talking of a different strain coming out. Exactly. So for that reason, you have to be clear what it is that is actually causing it and where we are. And it's a bit premature to jump the gun. But I can assure you that there's enough expertise in the country to look at the problem. And as we go through it, the experts will inform us and we'll take it from there.
The ministry received 5,000 vials of ceftriaxone antibiotics worth 30,000 cedis from Ernest Chemist Pharmaceuticals in response to the meningitis outbreak and called for more support.
The philanthropic nature of industries within our beloved country, Ghana. In times of need, they've always come to our stead, and within this ministry, we found that members and companies within the pharmaceutical society have always been able to assist us in issues that have a national dimension. We will encourage any others who feel that they can assist us in this process to do so.
Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has secured some medical equipment under the Millennium Celebrated framework to reduce maternal deaths in the country.
And still on health, the ministry has described the pneumococcal meningitis case as a major public health challenge in the meningitis belt and urging people to report to the hospitals early. Let's now speak with Dr. Gabriel Benauku, who is a national chairman of the Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health. He's joining us now. Good afternoon, sir, and thanks for your time.
Good afternoon, too.
Now, we have new cases of meningitis. We have cases of meningitis in Bunahafo region, Northing, Volta, Shanti, Easting, and Upper West regions. The case in Upper West, the person is said to have traveled from a funeral in Bunahafo. Would you say it's time we begin monitoring various transport stations, especially those coming from affected areas, with a view to checking the spread?
Yeah, thank you. As I keep on saying, public health, you cannot restrict people from movement. But there's already a guideline on how this outbreak can be managed. And in the first place is that all the health systems recognize that there's an outbreak and they are strengthened to be able to respond to the issues, and then they can be able to provide treatment and other services to everybody in Ghana now, not in only the affected district or region. So that is very critical.
Yeah.
The second critical issue is that the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Services, need to improve on their collaboration with the development partners, because they have experience in managing it in elsewhere, so that they can bring those expertise and experience to bear into the situation we find ourselves in Ghana. And then lastly, as I keep on saying, the social mobilization aspect of this outbreak is very critical. And the Ghana Health Administration Health need to improve on their engagement with civil society organizations, not only NGOs, but with the traditional authorities, the decentralized agencies within the district assemblies, and the private sector, so that we can minimize the shocks and easy to refer cases for treatment without they escalating. Because if you allow for 2-3 days, then the situation can be better. But when we have information to empower communities, they should be able to immediately refer for people to get access to services so that we can minimize the deaths and be able to respond to the crisis very well.
Right, Dr. Benauku, I remember quite clearly that I spoke to you on this matter earlier, and you told me that you were impressed with the action put in place by the Ghana Health Service so far to stop the spread of the disease at the time it was in the Bunahafo region. Now, looking back a couple of weeks ahead, it is spreading, and it's becoming worrying, and we're not sure whether it will now descend from the Ashanti region to Eastern and other parts of the country and become a national crisis. What are you saying?
Yeah, we encourage the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health, to really push money to the system. Now the issue is financial constraint, resources to be able to strengthen the district and the community health systems, including the human resource. To really, this is the first time we are experiencing it like this. So we need to really empower the health workers and orient them in a different perspective to be able to respond very well and provide quality response to the situation. That is one. So we need financial support. We need to capacitate the human resource. And I'm also using this opportunity to let the president also see that we are not saying that we can only deal with it within the national budget which was already approved. We need to get elsewhere to get additional support to respond to this public health issue. Otherwise, we could spend more money than what we are experiencing or what we think we are using now. So
right.
We need to get additional funds immediately to be able to curtail the station down, and then we can reorganize ourselves. Otherwise, we could spend more money than what we think.
Right, Dr. Gabriel Benako, we're grateful for your time. Dr. Benako is with the Coalition of NGOs on Health. So up next is What Do You Think?